Are you thinking about moving to Sacramento? In this video, I'm going to break down the top 10 pros and cons of living in the greater Sacramento area. The capital city of California is a fantastic place to live, but anybody considering moving here will want to know what the city has to offer. Stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss this one. Hey everyone, it's CJ Ports here, and I've been selling real estate for over 12 years. And if you're in the market for homes in Sacramento or the surrounding area and you need some guidance, you can book a quick intro call with me using the link in the description below. I'd be happy to help. Now, let's get into it. Pro number 1, impressive weather. The weather in Sacramento is fantastic for about 10 months of the year. Think of it as a Mediterranean type climate where the weather remains pleasant and encourages outdoor activities almost year-round. The fall welcomes change in leaves, the winter enjoys mild rain, and the spring brings activities planned around the pleasant climate. Overall, the summer is dry, the winter is mild, and you can plan to spend about 207 days a year enjoying cool and comfortable weather. Con number 1, hot summers. You might be surprised to know that Sacramento can get a bit warm. It's not uncommon for temperatures to reach 100 degrees Fahrenheit during July and August, but the average high during that time is right around 93 degrees. Humidity levels aren't that high, so it's a dry climate, but it can be challenging for those who don't appreciate a hot temperature. Keep in mind, you're only a couple hours away from the coast or the mountains, so there are many ways to manage heat during these short months of the year. But there is a silver lining in this. The typical temperature swing in this is about 35 degrees in any given day, so you may have hot afternoons in the 90s, but the mornings and evenings will hover around the 60s, so it's pretty manageable. And as a person who can't stand the heat, I feel pretty comfortable saying it's not that bad. Pro number 2, affordable cost of living. The cost of living here isn't the cheapest, but it is substantially lower than that of other major cities in the state. For example, the cost of living in Sacramento is higher than the national average, but is substantially lower than that of the California average. Compared to larger cities in California like Los Angeles and San Francisco, expenditures here are lower. Essential expenses such as housing market, basic utilities, groceries, and transportation are all within reach because overall expenses are significantly less than that of the state's median. So, Sacramento is a great option to be if you want to have the best of the California lifestyle without breaking the bank. Con number 2, taxes. Since Sacramento is in California, high taxes are just unavoidable. Even its miscellaneous fees like going out on a movie date or attending concerts or dining at a restaurant will cost you inherently a little bit more. Sales tax hovers right around 8.75%, while the city's income tax can be as high as 12.3%. The good news is that the tax does not apply to food sales for human consumption, so you can save funds on your grocery hauls. But nonetheless, if you want to live in the city, you must include a sizable portion of mandatory taxes here. Pro number 3. Proximity to fun. This is absolutely my favorite part about Sacramento, and one of the best advantages of coming to living in this area is taking advantage of the weekend trips you can go in any direction. You're a quick drive away from Napa, skiing in Tahoe, or picking apples in the foothills. Some of the top places you can visit by hopping into your car include Napa, Sonoma, Yosemite, Muir Woods, Lassen National Park, Reno, Tahoe, Apple Hill, and more. Depending on which part of the city you live in, these places are all accessible, and day trips you can be back in time for dinner. Although you might want to leave early enough in the day to avoid traffic issues, the central location gives you access to a variety of places to visit at any time of the year. Con number 3, traffic congestion. The city can't compare to places like San Francisco or Los Angeles when it comes to traffic congestion, but it does have some traffic issues inherently. The good news is that the congestion is being addressed by city officials, and they are working on improving traffic flow. As the population of the city increases, there are more cars on the road, but locals know when and where to avoid traffic for the most part. A major factor responsible for traffic in the city is that the I-80 connects the Bay Area to Lake Tahoe, and you can see an influx of transient cars on the weekends. Overall, if you plan accordingly, traffic congestion can be avoided and mitigated pretty easily. Pro number 4, great neighborhoods. There are plenty of neighborhoods to choose from when moving to Sacramento. Although considered somewhat of a small metropolitan area when compared to other bigger cities in California along the coast, it's still much larger than most communities in the northern region. It's a mid-sized metropolitan area that offers quiet, tree-lined streets with several different neighborhoods to choose from Midtown to Natomas, El Dorado Hills, all the way over to Davis. Each area offers a variety of options for different stages of home buyers. Con number 4, crime rate. No city is crime-free, but for some, it really is a significant problem. Sacramento ranks as having a higher crime rate than the national average, but despite that statistic, Sacramento remains a thriving community with a lot to offer its residents. Crime rates can vary drastically from one neighborhood to the next, so it is important to be aware of the crime levels in the area that you're considering moving to or spending time in. It's important to drive these neighborhoods that you're considering, and more so to have a person that's a real estate expert help you pick the right neighborhood that best fits you and your family's needs. Pro number 5, a stable economy. Although this may be overlooked, stable economic factors are so important when choosing a place to live, as these areas are more predictable and easier to navigate during uncertain times. Although not guaranteed, this gives homeowners increased stability when unforeseen factors come into play, like, for say, a pandemic. Sacramento's economy is flourishing because of its diverse industries, and as California's state capital, the city is home to government jobs, employment opportunities in technology, construction, and healthcare industries, which are all expanding. Con number 5, Sacramento is fastly growing. If you're not from here, reading a report that says Sacramento is the fastest growing city in California may seem inspiring. Clearly, it's noteworthy to see so much movement within the population, and while it's nice to live in a place that's attractive, it can really weigh down on some of the urban planning. It can cause things like housing shortages in the future, increased traffic, and although we're not necessarily seeing those effects yet, it is definitely something to keep in mind for the future. If you're looking to buy or sell real estate in the Sacramento or surrounding areas, feel free to contact me directly or book a call with me using the information in the description below. I hope you all got some value from this video, so be sure to check out my next video right here next.